Hey guys, Braxton here. Okay, so um, kind of a random topic and kind of has something to do with transitioning, but kind of doesn't. I wanted to talk about volunteering. Um, just because right now I'm volunteering in China. Um, and this is my second time doing it. It's not with the same program and it's not the same amount of time, but it is my second time volunteering, and I just wanted to talk about my experiences volunteering, and kind of how it relates to transitioning. And one of those things is, one, volunteering is one of the most amazing experiences you could have in life. Um, yes, you're not getting paid for it. Yes, you're not. Um, most of the time when you volunteer, you're not getting recognition for it. But that's the point of volunteering. Is volunteering is service. You know, when you're serving those in your community, those around the world, like whoever you're serving, it's not only helping them, but it's also helping yourself. Now, you might be thinking, well, isn't the point of service is to not think about yourself? And that is true, but when you're serving, it is unavoidable to have yourself not change, unless you try, go out of your way to not change. It is impossible to not change while serving. My first experience, as you guys know, was in India. I was up in Chamba, Himachal Pradesh, India. Chamba is a very small village type town, up tucked into the Himalayas. It's up in the northern end of Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh is the territory, for lack of a better word, I guess, or province. And that's how the country is broken up, is into different provinces. Himachal Pradesh is up in the north end of India, and I was serving up near Chamba's, up near the Pakistan and Indian border. And there it is third world. It's as third world as you can get. Um, they have open sewers. Cows are running rampant everywhere. Some kids wear the same outfit every day of the week, and they're not washed. They maybe get to wash it once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. And that's if they're lucky. And everybody lives in poverty. Now, the second experience I'm having, and I was only in India for 2 weeks. Now, the second experience I'm having is in Weihai, Shandong, China. Shandong is the province, also up in the north. I'm up in northeast corner on the peninsula. So I live on the coast instead of in the mountains. And this one's been 4 months long, and this is the second world. And what I mean by second world is most of the families that live here are fairly well off, but not quite. They don't have a lot of the things that we have here in the States, but it's kind of upper second class getting into the first class. And so, it's a little less off. They're not as better off as, people from the United States. And so it's also a different experience here. Now, with both of these, in both of these experiences, I've taught English because as a second language, because English is now becoming the #1 universal language, and for you to get a decent job, this is how it is in India. For you to get a job, you need to know how to speak English. For you to get a decent job, so you can break the cycle of poverty that happens in every single family. Here, they just want their kids to have English as a second language because, like I said, it's an international language. If you want to get into a really good job, like international trading and that type of stuff, you need to know English. So, I'm teaching at a private school, so the school pays for most of my supplies, or not supplies, most of my living expenses. If not all of my living expenses. I stay in their dorms, so they pay for my electricity, my heating. When we first got here, it was freezing, but now all the heaters are off, and so now they have to pay for the electricity for the fan to be running. And they pay for my food. I eat at the cafeteria twice a day because I don't eat breakfast. I'm too damn lazy to get out of bed that early. And they they'll help pay for transportation. We get discounts going to different places because of the school. The school takes care of us. Like, they treat us better than they treat their own teachers. Their own Chinese teachers, they treat us better because for whatever reason, I don't know. And so we're kind of spoiled here, and granted, like I said, we're not as well off as we would be in the United States, but it's still a huge step up from where I was living in Chamba. In Chamba, I had to share this huge room with other girls because at the time I wasn't out as transgender, and we had like that thick of foam, and not even like memory foam, just foam mattresses on the floor. It was freezing cold at night, and we only had sleeping bags. We only could drink out of water bottles. Like, here, at least I have my tank, my water filter, which is like 16 liters, so I only have to change it twice a week. But there, we had to go through water bottle after water bottle, and the one purifier we had was only drip, and so it barely filled up a bucket, maybe once or twice a day. So we were able to fill up our own water bottles, so we're constantly having to buy water bottles. We had to be careful of how much we were drinking. We had the food there is 10 times better than the food here. Just saying. I love Indian food. But, the situation that these kids were living in India were 10 times worse. No, not even that, like 50 to 100 times worse than they are here. But like I said, it's still not as well off as United States. Now, what I'm getting at here is, while I've been in both experiences and I've, experienced different classes, and when I say first class, second class, I mean first world, third world, second world, sorry. Quick clarify that. So I've experienced second world, I've experienced third world, I've experienced first world. And in all of these experiences, I come out as a better person because I'm not focusing on myself. I'm not focusing on, my life and how stressful it is. I'm focusing on these kids that I'm teaching, and I'm forced to live in the moment because there's nothing else I can do. Yeah, I can plan ahead, I think ahead, because I have to. Here in China, we didn't have to in India. Here in China, because we're teaching here so long, every week we have to hand in a lesson plan of everything we're going to do. Great, fantastic, like, it's completely okay. So that's pretty much basically the only thinking ahead I have to do. And if I have like a homestay, which is where we go out with our kids, or if we have or if we're having vacation coming up or things, that's literally all I have to think about. Like, I do not have stresses here. The only stress that I've ever felt is when I've gotten really sick, and that worries me because my body's just fucked up. And my lack of social skills, or not my social skills, but I just can't seem to connect with anyone here. So for the past 3 months, I've been all alone, and it sucks. Like, honestly, it sucks ass to be this alone here. Um, but it's making me a better person because I'm having to focus on myself when I'm not with my kids and figuring out ways to better myself. I've become more goal oriented. Like the other day, I wrote down goals that I wanted to achieve. Like, um, yes, I have a journal. So like goals for when I get home. Apply for a clerk job at PMC. It's a hospital that I want to work at. It gives me hospital experience for the career I want to go into. Check back in with my other jobs. Like I have to check back in with my other jobs. Start working out again every day. Because I work out on a regular basis here. Like not heavy working out, like going to the gym type thing. But, I probably climb about 1,000 stairs a day, if that, if not more. Sometimes less on the weekends just because I'm always in my room. But I'm up and down stairs on a regular basis. Now that the pool's open, I've been swimming granted, I've only swum 2 days, but my plan is to swim every day. Walk every day. When I get back to the States, I'm going to have to walk every day to be able to keep up the cardio that I've been doing. Granted, I'm not going to have as many stairs, but if I walk just that much further to make up for the fact that I don't have stairs, I should hopefully be able to stay in shape. Continue with good habits established here, such as cleaning up after myself, brushing my teeth, flossing every day, going to bed early, getting up early, things. When I was back in the States, I was going to bed at 12, 1, 2 in the morning, and I wasn't waking up until 9 or 10 unless I worked. So I was hardly getting any sleep. I wasn't getting good sleep. So those were bad habits that I'd formed, and I couldn't seem to break them. Well, now here, I'm going to bed at 9, 9:30, 10 o'clock because I'm so tired because I have to get up at 6 in the morning. So, I can't, then when I try to sleep on the weekends, I'm lucky if I get to sleep in until 7:30. Like, it's just how I've set my body, flossing and brushing my teeth. It seems so trivial, but I used to have bad teeth cleaning habits. Now I don't because I don't want strangers, like, think my breath smells bad. Like, start rock climbing. I want to start rock climbing. The very first time I went rock climbing was in Yangshuo, China. It's this gorgeous area, this country area. So it's probably more third world there, with a touch of second world just because it's so touristy. And honestly, if I were to live anywhere, it'd be Yangshuo. But very first time I ever went rock climbing was real rock climbing, not rock wall, in Yangshuo, China. And I gotta say that, and I loved it. I had a ball. I had a blast. Like, I want to do that when I get home. Look into MMA. I've always wanted to be an MMA fighter just because, I'm short, but I have a very stocky build, and I want to take advantage of that. I want to take advantage of the fact that I'm muscular, I'm stocky, I have thick bones, so they're almost impossible to break, even though there have been a few times when they should have broken. So I'm going to take advantage of that. I want to look into MMA. Ways to keep myself in shape, because when I'm in shape, I'm happier. When I'm in shape, I'm more proud of myself. I have better confidence. When when I haven't gained a bunch of weight, I feel better about myself. Started payment plans for paying back my mom in school. My mom has funded a lot of the things that I've done here, so I have to start paying her back because I cannot not pay her back, because that's just how I am. I have to pay my mom back because she's done so much for me, especially while she's been here. She's been keeping my bank account full. When I ask her when I need more money, she puts in more money, and most of it's just the little bit that she has. And school. I'm going to be starting school in the fall. One of my goals is to keep 3.7 or higher GPA, because that's the GPA that I graduated with. I know that the likelihood of me getting a 4.0 just because I have ADD and dyslexia is pretty slim, but the goal to have a 3.7 or higher, keeps me oriented. Freshman orientation, it's something that I have to do. Set up a student loan, I need to do that. Set up a budget, when I start working. again, I'm gonna have to set up a budget so I can make plans, make my payment plans. Student loans you don't have to pay until after school's done, but I still need to pay my mom back. I still have other expenses like gas and everything like that. If I can, I'm gonna try and have, I'm going to try to, start paying for my own car. My parents will get the car, and then I'll start paying them so I can own my own car. I want to take my girlfriend out on more dates. I was terrible about that because I was spending my money left and right. Setting aside money so I can take her out on dates, 2 to 3 times a month. Continue working on bettering myself. When I'm bettering myself, I am happy, and when I'm happy, those around me are happy. Because I'm not making them miserable. I'm not miserable myself, and so they don't feel miserable because I feel miserable. Being the man I want to be. I've been living my life, a good portion of it, to please other people instead of pleasing myself. I didn't want to disappoint my parents or my family because my parents and my family mean so much to me. They might not respect my choice. They might call me by my female pronouns and my birth name, but I still love them. I don't hate them for it because I understand that their beliefs are their beliefs. And I still believe a lot of the things that they do, but I have varying beliefs when it comes to the LGBT community. Start working on getting a plan set into place for top surgery. That is one of the number one things I want to get going, is because I'm tired of having this chest. I seriously... I just want to know what it feels like to wear a t-shirt without a bra, and not look down and see these two, fat sacks, just hanging off of me, because they're not perky anymore. They're not attractive because of the testosterone, and so, I want to get rid of them. Start practicing 2 hours a day. I am majoring in piano performance at the University of Utah in the School of Music. So I have to start off, because I'm going to be getting back at the beginning of July. School starts towards the end of August. I'm going to have to start practicing 2 hours a day, and then once school starts, I'm going to have to bump it up to 3 hours. So I need to get, that set into place. Figure out a nutrition plan. Yeah, like I said, when I'm fit, when I'm healthy, I'm happy. And I've always been terrible with nutrition because food is my best friend. Food is my comfort food. I eat when I'm bored. I have an issue with eating all the time, especially since I started testosterone, because I'm hungry all the time, especially after I work out. And with the food that they have here and with how much I'm working out, I don't have much food at my fingertips that I actually like, so I haven't been eating as much, so I'm losing weight. So I have to, when I get back home, I need to start a nutrition plan so I'm not binging on everything I've missed out on for the past 4 months. I can reward myself, and I can figuring out ways to fit in the things I like along with the healthy food, so I'm still losing weight, because one of my other goals is to lose this. I want a flat stomach. I really don't care if I have a six-pack. I just want a fat, muscular stomach. I want a muscular body, muscular build. I don't want boobs. I don't want to be fat anymore. I used to live that way and said I'll eventually get to it, but I finally put my foot down and said I don't want to live fat. I don't want to be fat anymore. I finally put my foot down and said I don't want to be angry anymore. I used to be angry all the time. I was angry at everybody. I was angry at my girlfriend. I was angry at my parents. I was angry at my friends. And most of the time it was for no goddamn reason. I was angry and I hated it. I hated myself for it. I hated the person I had become. And so I finally put my foot down and said, no, I am not getting angry anymore. And when I do, I make sure to calm myself down. And when I can't, yes, I get frustrated because I don't understand why I can't calm myself down. But I figure out ways to eventually calm myself down. And I make sure that I do not lash out at other people. Because I'm the only one that can control myself. Nobody else can. Yeah, they can probably shit on me, but it's under my control of how I react. I've decided that I want to better myself. I just want to be a better human being overall. I want to be more grateful. I want to be more humble. I want to be more integritous. I want to have more integrity. I just want to be a better person overall. I want to be an example to others. I want to be the light in somebody's life. Whether it's a stranger's or whether it's one of my closest friends or my family members. I don't want to be this angry person that I was before I left for China. And, back to volunteering, sorry for all the explanations, but the reason why I brought all of that up is because all of these changes have come about because of volunteering. Now you might think, well, you probably could have done it by yourself. No, you probably could, but it's going to be a lot harder. While you're volunteering, you are giving yourself up, giving up your selfish desires, giving up everything that almost everything, but giving a lot up to serve these people so they have a chance at a better life. And there's just this emotional high about it. I was listening to the inspirational CD, and they call it the helper's high. And it's because you just get this happy feeling because you're helping them, you're making a difference, and that is one of the best feelings in the world. Hands down, that is one of the best feelings in the world, is to know that you're helping someone else other than yourself. And my future goals, long-term goals, is to graduate medical school with a MD and a specialty in pediatric surgery. And once I graduate and after I get my residency done and my fellowship, I am immediately going to apply for Doctors Without Borders and continue with that program. I could spend the rest of my life volunteering. And one of those things is I want to be able to help little kids when I can in third world countries. I thrive in third world countries. Like, I am so unhappy in first world. So many people think, oh, first world's so amazing, I'm going to have such a better life in a first world. Yeah, you might, but then you become materialistic, then you want more things, and you just become selfish. And, I've seen so many people fall to, the grasp of society in first world, and it's terrible. It's miserable, and honestly, when you have nothing at all, you could be the happiest person on earth. And that is one thing I've learned from the kids in India and from just the people that live in India. Some of the people that have almost nothing, if nothing at all, that their houses are a tin roof with tarp as walls, living on a dirt floor, no bed, hardly any food, living day to day, and they're still the happiest people on earth. And it's because they don't know anything else. And because they don't know that, they don't really know how they probably have an understanding that their situation is pretty shitty, but they don't care. They're happy. And yes, they want to see their kids get a better life and not be stuck, and because it can be a miserable life and it can be a very hard life, and so they want better for their kids, but they are still happy. They're still the happiest kids. They're not angry because they don't have something. They don't whine and throw temper tantrums because their mom said no, they can't have a sucker, or no, they can't have a specific toy. They understand that their parents can't provide those things. They can provide food, clothes, and somewhat a roof over their heads. Things that they need to survive. And so, to tie this all in with my transition, I apologize for the video being so long, but I just needed to tell you guys this. And to tie this all in with my transition is, while I've been volunteering in India, while I was in India, it gave me the strength and it gave me the courage to come out as transgender. One of the leaders of the group was one of the first people I came out to. She is the sweetest person on earth. I loved her so much, I clicked with her, and I was so nervous to tell her that I was transgender, and yet she has been one of the most accepting people. And, it was hard. It was very hard. But because of the experiences I had in India and because of the person I had become while I was there, even though it was only 2 weeks, I had changed so much. And I had become so much of a better person. And then I let myself slide back into my old self and into my first world self, as I like to call it. And when I realized that that had started happening, I knew I needed to go volunteer again, because I knew that was what would help me to break this nasty cycle of becoming just this terrible person that I wasn't proud of and that just makes me unhappy. And so I signed up for ILP, International Language Programs. And now it's been almost 3 full months since I have been here. It'll be 4 months by the time I leave. And it's been one of the hardest experiences I have ever had. It has been lonely. I have had almost no friends while I was here. It has been very lonely because most of the time when I'm awake, you guys are asleep. Utah, is where I'm from, they're 14 hours behind us. So when my parents are sleeping, when my girlfriend's sleeping, when all my friends are sleeping, I'm wide awake. And I'm lonely because, they're awake when I'm teaching. And they're asleep when I'm not. So that's really hard. And then it's really hard because I can't get along with anyone here. And I don't know why. Well, I kind of do because they're all whiny bitches, but, that's another subject for another time. It's also been really hard because for the first month to 2 months, I was struggling so much with teaching. Because I couldn't see myself making a difference. I couldn't see my kids getting better. But then I finally just let it go. I started making better lesson plans. I started caring more. I started caring about my kids, not because, because they were kids. I started loving them. And because I loved them, I became a better teacher. Because I wasn't so focused on just the teaching aspect. I became a better teacher. And so I've become a better person. Being here, I've been able to step away from everybody, all the naysayers and everybody that told me I can't, or I can't do this, or I can't do that, or, the choices that you're making are terrible. And because I've been able to step away from that, because I've been able to step away from everybody that I've been suffering under their thumb for so long, that I finally have become this proud person. I finally become this person that is confident in himself. This is something that I have not had for the past 19, almost 20 years. I have never been proud of who I was. I have never been able to look at myself in a mirror and just stare at myself with a big grin on my face because I see an attractive man. Because I see someone that I can be proud of. And all of this is because of China. Because of the experiences and the trials that I've gone through. It has made me a better man. And has made me proud of who I am. And yes, I've struggled so much wondering whether or not transitioning was the right thing for me. And I still struggle with it. Just because I'm becoming more confident doesn't mean that I'm not still struggling with it. But I'm becoming more and more sure of myself. And this is because I've thrown myself in the service of others. Because instead of thinking about myself all the time, I'm thinking of others more often. And when I do get the chance of thinking about myself, it's not because, oh, poor me, wallowing in self-pity. It's, how can I make myself better so I can serve those that I'm serving better? How can I help them? How can I become a better helper? How can I become a better person so I can make a better impact and a bigger difference? Again, I'm sorry because this is such a long video, but it just needed to be said. So I implore you guys, if you guys get the chance, volunteering is so much fun. And volunteering internationally is just that much more fun. Because you get to say, I'm 20 years old. I get to say that I've been to India and China one of the two most countries people hardly visit. You know, how many people get to say that they've been to China? I can say that I've been to the Forbidden City, the Great Wall. I've rock climbed in Yangshuo. I've been places that other people haven't. I've been to Shanghai. I've been to Beijing. Like, I've been to these really awesome places. I've been to India. I've been to the Taj Mahal. I've been to New Delhi. I've been to Chamba. These places that people can't really say that they've been. And this is not because, I just went on a trip. It was because I was volunteering. And that's what made it so much better. My favorite parts of each trip I've taken has been teaching and been serving. I'm not a great teacher. I don't really like teaching all that much. The next volunteer opportunity I'm hoping that I can get away from teaching. Because it's not my strong suit. But it's becoming my strong suit because I'm working at it. My favorite parts have been just teaching and working with these kids and playing with the kids. Because that's when I'm the happiest. Going to see the Great Wall, going to see the Forbidden City, going to Yangshuo, rock climbing, going to see the Taj Mahal in New Delhi, and going to ride elephants. Like, all of those things are just bonuses. Yeah, I would kind of be bummed if I didn't do those things, but I would still be going home happy for the experience that I had. Because I came and I'm coming home a better man for it. Again, I apologize for the extremely long video. I've got to go to dinner, but I love you guys, and I implore you, look into volunteering because it could be one of the best experiences you have ever had in your life, and it can be one of the most enriching experiences you will ever have, and it can help you. If you're struggling, if you have self-doubt, it can help you. You just have to let it. I love you guys. Hope you're having a good transition and a happy transition. If not, that's okay. Good luck, you guys. Peace.